YouTube, what's going on? You already know who I am. G Live, G2 time live in effect. Back with y'all again with another video. All right. You know, y'all can see, you know what I mean, dropping my son off to school. Say good morning, bye-bye.
Good morning.
Dropping my son off to school, and so just a quick video, man. Just want to kind of like, you know, touch up on something that I, you know, I've read before in the past, you know, about parenting. So the thing is, you know, what is the difference, you know, between taking care of your kids and raising your kids? You know what I'm trying to say? Taking care meaning that just, you know, it's keeping them up to par, and the difference between raising your kids. So there's a big difference, man. You know what I'm trying to say? A lot of people, you know what I mean, don't know what it is to raise their kids. You know what I'm trying to say? Raising your kids and kind of like just taking care, keeping them up to par is two different things. You know, keeping your kids up to par is basically, you know, you just buying them, you know what I mean, regular things, clothes, you know, you make sure, you know, they're eating, you know, they got the good, you know, they got good sneakers, they got good everything as far as materialistic things and all. But, you know, the parents is not really, you know, raising the kids. It's just like as if like they just like, all right, you know what I mean, you know, just basic things that they do, but never think about, you know, raising their kids. Like, you know what I mean, raising your kids meaning that you're part of your kids' life, like mentally, physically, personally, financially, everything. It's not just, you know, one aspect of it. And sometimes, you know, a lot of parents just be one aspect of what I'm talking about. So raising your kids, man, you gotta learn how to raise your kids. You gotta learn how, you know, what your kids love, you know, what your kids like, what are the things that, you know, they're gonna get into, what are the things that you're gonna, you know, try to get them into. Because, you know what I'm saying, a lot of the times, you know what I mean, you know, we don't know what, you know, what our kids, you know, want, you know what I mean? So we got to kind of give them an idea of what it is that they want. All right, hang on for a second, YouTube. Okay, pause the video. I got to drop my son off to school. All right, hang on. Yeah, sorry about that, YouTube. Had to drop the little boy off, you know what I'm saying, making sure, you know what I mean, he's in school. And so yeah, so basically what I was talking about is, you know what I mean, raising your kids. You know what I mean, the difference between taking care of them, keeping them up to par, and raising them. You know what I'm trying to say? So, you know, like I said, raising your kids, you know what I mean, you have to understand, like, you know, raising your kids, what is it that you want for your kids, the best that you want for your kids, and what are you gonna teach them? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Spending time with them, you know, not just, you know what I mean, being on a routine, come home, they do this, they do that, and you're not really spending the time. Because I know that's one thing, you know what I mean, growing up with my parents, you know what I mean? Not to say my parents didn't raise me, but there's certain things, aspects of raising me that, you know, sometimes I felt like, you know what I mean, I didn't get, you know, certain attentions that I might not have gotten, you know what I mean, when I was younger. And so that's, you know, that's another thing, you know, is, you know, the type of attention that you're giving your child, you know what I'm trying to say? You know, are you going out with your child all the time? Are you mingling with your child all the time? You know what I'm trying to say? Are you like there participating with your child? You know what I mean? And not just, you know, dropping your child off to school. Once he comes out of school, all right, you know what I mean? You know, that's it. Like, I mean, he just does his homework, but you're not helping him out with the homework like that. You know what I mean? You just allowing, you know what I mean? Just like, you just allow the school to just do everything, and you just not doing nothing. So you gotta know how to, you know, be involved in your kids' life. You know what I mean? From homework to teaching them, you know, to making sure that, okay, you know, they understand their homework, you know what I mean, sitting down and helping them out with their homework, you know, going through it with their math, teaching them, you know, certain things that, you know, that in a different aspect, because you gotta understand, we all learn different. Even with teachers teach different, parents teach different. So, you know what I mean, the way your children might learn, you know, certain things in school, as far as math, social studies, science, might be a little different from the way you learn. So you always got to know, okay, however the teachers teach them, you always got to make sure you're participating and you're kind of like teaching your kids too, because you know what I mean, teaching, always comes first, at home. You know what I'm trying to say? You know what I mean? Like certain aspects of stuff comes at home first. So that's why it's always important that the parents is well educated. You know what I mean? The parents went to school, they graduated. Not even if they didn't graduate, you know what I mean? They didn't, but they're a little educated, more educated than the norm. You know what I'm trying to say, So you have to understand that that's very important, man. You know what I'm trying to say? Because that helps out a lot, you know what I mean, as far as raising your kids. You know what I mean? And you don't wanna not do these things. You know what I'm trying to say? So, like I said, man, you gotta learn how to, you gotta know what the difference between taking care, keeping up to par with your kids, and raising them. You know what I'm saying? Teaching them how to cook. You know what I'm trying to say? Teaching them just little basic things, you know what I mean, that at certain ages that, you know what I mean, certain kids, depending on if it's a boy or girl, certain, things that they can learn on their own, you know what I'm trying to say? So, I just wanted to touch up on that, man, you know what I'm trying to say, for all the single fathers out there, you know what I mean? And all the single parents, single mothers, you know what I mean? But like I said, y'all know, you know what I mean, my videos is mainly targeted, you know what I mean, for the full-time single fathers, you know what I'm trying to say? So I just want y'all to understand that, man, you know what I'm trying to say? That is very important, you know what I mean, to know what it is, how you're raising your kids, how, what you're teaching them. You know what I mean? Are you involved in their lives? You know what I'm trying to say? Do you know what's going on, with them? How are they feeling? You know what I mean? Certain things you have to, put yourself into. Put yourself in their shoes. You know what I mean? Especially, one thing I've learned too, man. I've come to appreciate, man. And I'm not gonna lie, man. I kind of now understand. You know what I mean? Like, my parents, my dad, especially my dad, because he's the one that raised me. So I kind of understand certain things now. You know what I mean? That I didn't understand when I was younger. But now the fact that I have my child, I see certain things that I see that my pops used to do, certain values that my pops put into me, that when I was younger, I was just like, man, Dad, talk too much, this, that, and the third. Certain things I felt like, he wasn't teaching me. But in actuality, though, man, like my dad taught me a lot, man. Like, my dad, he taught me a lot. When I come and sit down, you know what I mean, think about it, though, man, you know what I mean? Like, it was just certain things that he instilled in me, you know what I mean? Certain things I didn't like, but certain environments he would put me in to help me, not realizing that these things, is very important as I get older. And so now that I'm seeing it, you know what I mean? Like one example I'm gonna give y'all is like, so my dad is very spiritual, very religious, you know what I mean? Loved going to church, doing all of it. And I mean, one thing that my dad didn't play, you know what I mean? We had to wake up, me and my brothers and my sisters, you know what I'm saying? Especially me and my brother, man. Always gotta wake up. We had to make sure we wake up, man, to go to church on Sundays, to participate, and participate in the community things that we would do in church. And me, waking up in the morning, going to church, I never realized that, it was more than just, you know what I mean, just the whole religious part, the doctrine, you know what I mean, it was more like a discipline, you know what I mean, a form of discipline, and not, you know what I mean, waking up, going to church, you know what I'm saying, it was just kind of like, it was a community, you know what I'm trying to say? Even though I never agreed with a lot of the times, as I got older, I didn't agree with the doctrine of the church that my dad was in, and you know what I mean, but the community is what I realized that helped me out a lot. Just coming to church, being around other kids, and just seeing parents, sons, daughters, families, in church coming together. And that, now that I'm older, I see that, damn, that, you know, was very important to see these things growing up. You know what I mean? To see other families, to be around other families, to be around other kids in a different environment like that. You know what I'm trying to say? And so, you know what I mean? I give it to my dad, man. You know what I'm trying to say? You know what I mean? Growing up, I used to always say, oh, my dad, I ain't really learned nothing too much. He didn't teach me how to be a man. But, you know, as I got older, I had to let that go. I had to, you know what I mean, say to myself, nah, dude, man, nah. My dad, he did a lot, man. You know, him being so religious like that, it helped out a lot. You know what I mean? It really helped out a lot, man. It kept me on my feet. And even now that I'm realizing too, like, why I'm so conscious, like, you know, like, I'm so into the consciousness, you know what I mean, as far as, you know what I mean, Kemetic history, spirituality, and you know, learning that, you know what I mean, that information in, you know what I mean, the past about how our ancestors, you know what I mean, was, and the, you know, belief systems that our ancestors, you know what I mean, live by. And I realized that, you know, I love those things, you know, just learning out of that, just going to, you know, lectures, going to traveling, and just, you know, watching a lot of videos, conscious videos. And I realized that, like, damn, you know what, like, all of that comes from my dad. Even though, you know what I mean, instead of it being religious thing as far as you know, the whole Christianity, Muslim, this and that, which, you know, I don't, after a while, man, I stopped believing in all the Christianity, I'm trying to say. And not to say, you know what I mean, there's no truth to these things, you know what I mean, but it's just certain things that I just like, as I got older, man, I'm just like, wasn't feeling it. But I found myself that I transitioned, you know what I mean, to another form of, like, a spirituality sense, and you know, looking at my dad, that was his spirituality, and looking at me now, my consciousness, you know, me learning about the ancestors, you know, me learning about the old ways of living, as far as the Kemetic ways of living. And I realized that, you know what, I get all of that, you know, from my dad. You know, my dad, you know, he's not into the, you know, Kemetic things, he's not into, but he's still into a spiritual system. And so that's when I realized, I'm like, damn it, you know what? This is what I take away from my dad, man. You know what I mean? I never realized that. I used to say, you know, I don't know what I see within my dad, but that's one of the things I can say, like, because of my dad, man. You know what I mean? That's why I'm so spiritual. I'm so into my whole consciousness thing. You know what I mean? My whole Kemetic, learning about, you know what I mean, the 42 laws of my art instead of, you know, the 10 commandments. I mean, you know, from what I know, you know what I mean, from the research that I know, you know what I mean, that the 10 commandments, you know what I mean, that all of that comes from the 42 laws of my art. And so, you know, you start to, you know, once you start learning these things, you start to understand a little bit, you know, start to get a little different perspective of life, and understanding, you know, how things was back then and how it is now. And, you know, and sometimes, you know how they say, man, you know what I mean, like, you know, ain't nothing new under the sun. You know what I'm trying to say? So, but yeah, that's just one example, man, of you know, the way my dad raised me. You know what I'm trying to say? And you know, and that's what it is, though, man. So, you know what I mean, you gotta raise your kids, though, man. You gotta know, you know, what your kids is, you know what I mean, wanting to get into. You know what I'm trying to say? I mean, like I said, there's still a lot of stuff my dad didn't, you know, talk to me about. You know what I mean? But, you know, that's why I'm, you know what I mean, I'm making this video, man. You know what I'm trying to say? So y'all can understand, you know what I mean, the difference between taking care of your kids, keeping them up to par, and raising them. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man. Yeah, so, you know, if you like this video, man, you know what I mean, make sure y'all subscribe, share this, like this, hit the notification bell, you know what I mean, for future videos. And I'm headed to the gym right now, you know what I mean, to go work out. So I got my workout clothes on, you know what I mean, so just let y'all know, you know what I mean, this is how it is. You know what I'm trying to say? This is what I do. You know what I mean? Just a routine thing that I do every morning. Wake up, drop my son off, go work out. From then and there, you know, just continue with my schedule of the day, man. You know what I'm trying to say? So, but I appreciate y'all, you know what I'm saying, coming through, you know what I'm saying, watching the video. Thank you for the support. You know, continue, share the video. And for all the, you know what I mean, all the new subscribers, you know what I'm trying to say, you know, there's a lot more videos to come, alright, man? So, y'all be easy, alright? Take care, one.